I'm sorry, I thought I heard my name. I was like, oh, I feel sad now.
He feels sympathy for robotic women.
And that's why they will not kill me.
That is kind of your number one trait.
What?
Feeling sympathy for female-like codes.
Female?
Whether it's a female, yeah, like a female game character, a female robot. It's mainly females.
Why can't I feel sympathy for males?
I can't think of a single male character where you're like, oh, this is so sad. I can't believe this is happening to him.
Not really.
Like you never.
All JoJo characters.
I've never heard you talk about any of them. Also, that's not a game character. Although I guess technically they are because it's a JoJo game.
Yeah, well, I just don't think you should probably count it. Okay, so
But no, I mean, if you can name a male character you feel sorry for and you like could actually talk about for a minute how sad you feel about him.
Michael Schmidt from Five Nights at Freddy's. His dad killed so many children, and he had no choice but to just let that happen because he was a kid. He also killed his younger brother accidentally by stuffing him in a Freddy Fazbear Springlock thing, and it went chomp, and then he blamed himself for the death, and he felt so sad. And then he ended up dying because his sister, who possessed another robot, was like, you should trust me. And then it was like, okay, I trust you. She's like, cool, I'm going to kill you now so I can take your body. And he was like, what? What are you talking about, sis? And then he died and he lost control of his body for who knows how long. And then when he finally was able to get out of that situation, because they all were like, this body sucks, he got hurted. He was like, I gotta make sure this whole bad tragedy goes behind the world, because if not, it's gonna be really bad. And so instead he put them all together and then burned them all. Duh.
Obviously. Yeah, that's I stand corrected.
I can do another one if you want.
Go for it.
I would do Cloud Strife, but that's a spoiler. Or I could do Zack
Okay.
also, but that's also a spoiler.
Okay.
I hate to do that. Hold on. Things are getting crazy. Okay. Let me think. Trying to think of other. I don't. It's not that I'm having a hard time thinking of any characters right now. It's just that there's a lot of the games I play. Or no, okay, I got one. What's his name? I think it's Jeremy from Dream Daddy. All his children kind of just don't like him. He's trying to run a church by himself, and none of his family really supports him that much. His wife is cheating on him, and he doesn't think that's what's happening. And they're both depressed, apparently. And it's just so sad. And he's doing his best, and the only joy he has in life is hanging out with the main character, i.e. you. Because you're the only one in life that actually cares about his wants and needs.
That is sad.
It is sad. Isn't it so sad?
It is.
Can this guy, like, freaking just die? Please. Sorry this battle is taking freaking forever. It's just like, I don't know. He's just so, like, invincible for a large amount of the fight. and so it's
Yeah.
just hard. Like, I know I gotta, like... I know I gotta, like... There we go, finally, gosh darn it. Or wait, no, he just goes into third mode, but still, finally. Gosh darn it. Now it flies. Now what do I do? I need, I didn't know. Hurry. Two. Oh, I don't know what's gonna happen, actually. I have no idea what's gonna happen.
Stay strong, okay?
Okay. Uh-oh.
Let's see.
What's going on? What the heck is going on?
Why don't you lead the way?
Okay. Spells, thunder. Okay, that don't work.
Do you think that one of the reasons men struggle to see women as only friends is because women like talking about their feelings a lot often with their friends, and so men associate with talking about a lot of feelings with a relationship?
Maybe. I think there's a lot of different things that go with it. Like, I think it's easier for men to, like, see a female friendship as just a friendship when, like, they're already in a relationship for one. But I think the other part of it too is that men tend to be more like sexually driven anyways, I think. So like they'll enjoy having a female friend, but there's always gonna be something like in the back of their mind they're like, what if they wanna have sex with me? You know?
Right.
Like at some level or another, a lot of men have that, I think. Unless it's been a clear cut and defined friendship. Because there are definitely female friendships I've had in the past where it's like in middle school, I used to have a lot of female friends. But there was not a lot where I was like, ooh, I want to have sex with that one. Not necessarily because I didn't find them attractive or anything. It was just I never thought about that. It wasn't really until like high school when that started happening, I think. Because puberty, but I think that men's overstimulated sex drives, them not being in a relationship, and then probably the emotional bit also are big parts of it.
Okay. Interesting.
Men are complicated creatures.
They truly are.
Yeah. I can say though that I'm sure a lot of them, with that mentality that they're stuck with, it's hard for them to actually have female friendships, and so they tend to not. Because they probably actually just want a friendship, but there's like something in the back of their mind of like, ooh, sex, and they're like, no, I don't wanna. I just want someone that's cool. Which I think probably is with a lot of different men and just people in general. And I'm sure females have the same thing. It's just more prevalent in males. You know?
Yeah, no, I think there's definitely probably women who are like that, and actually no, they're not definitely probably, there are definitely women who are like that.
Yeah. Which which I find interesting, kind of, because I know like it's different for women somehow, like in their neurology or something. But like, I want to know why. What the? Where am I? I want to know why men specifically have this like higher sex drive than women, and like what causes that. Because like women, I know women have like the whole thing of, oh, I want children, let's have children, you know, they have that. But I think that's different than the male version of I want sex. They want like, it's like they want like subconsciously, I'll say, because not every man is like this. But like they subconsciously want sex, you know. That's what they want out of that. It's just the physical and emotional connection of that.
Yeah.
Whereas women tend to more want the outcome of sex, you know.
Yeah,
Like they want children out of it, or
I mean, I think it's two different feelings. But yeah, that's definitely wanting kids is definitely more of a. It is a reason to have sex that women have than men have. That women have more than men. Yes, but I wouldn't say it's the same thing as sex drive.
no, yeah, it's definitely not. But it's like, I don't know. Sometimes it just feels like women don't really have a sex drive. Just because of the things they'll talk about, I guess, are so, like, separate from that idea, I guess. Which is.
I think
it's
a lot of it.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. I mean, a lot of what sex is for women. I've always been told growing up that sex for women is like it's an emotional connection, whereas men feel way more uh this is just sex about it type thing. Whereas women often struggle, apparently, with keeping their emotions aside when physical contact comes into play.
Mhm. I get that, and honestly, I disagree with that. I
Okay.
think what it is that men probably just have a bigger want for it, if anything, you know? Like they feel
Yeah.
like it's more important to them.
Do you think that uh when disagreeing, do you think that it's because women don't get more attached, or it's not true that men don't get attached? Like,
What way?
okay, like I said, women struggle to not get emotionally or romantically or whatever attached to somebody they have physical contact or sex with. You said you disagree. I said versus men. So do you think that men also struggle with not getting emotionally attached, or do you think that's not women's reason?
I think men also struggle with not getting emotionally attached.
Okay.
Because, like, it's gonna sound stupid, but in American Pie, right?
Okay.
The whole plot of the movie is this group of 4 guys who are virgins, right? And like they're getting ready to go, like it's their senior year, prom's coming up, and they're all virgins. And they're like, all right, guys, we all need to lose our virginity because that's like the cool thing to do. You know, it's this whole thing. And they go through the whole movie trying to do it, and they're failing, obviously. So it's a comedy movie. And in the end, they're just kind of like, they all kind of not really give up, but they're just like, you know what? I don't want to have sex just to have sex. I want to have sex because it's important to me. That's basically what they all say. Like, and then after they say that, they all have sex because that's kind of just what happens, I guess.
They learned their lesson.
Yeah, they learn their lesson. But like, yeah, I think What it might be, actually, I don't know if this is true at all, but what it might be is that like women might be taught more like specifically what sex should be versus what men are taught what sex should be. Like, I don't remember how sex was taught for me, other than because my mom just told me the physical stuff about it, but she never told me anything like. She never taught me the emotional ramifications, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
Like, she was always just like, "Yeah, sex. This is how sex works." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." But she never, like, until later, at least, she wasn't. It was like, "Yeah, sex is like something you do with your partner. You know, that's how you show someone you love them. You know, yada 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 yada." But
Yeah.
it was never like that was kind of it. You know, as far as like
Yeah.
the emotional teachings of sex, that was about as far as that went. Which is fine, but I feel like, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like women were probably taught differently of like, you should have sex with, like, you should have sex for this reason. Whereas men are taught you have sex because of something, not for something. I could
That
be wrong.
does.
I could be
No,
wrong.
no, that raises such a good point now that I think about it. Just with how like people are, you could go on that from so many different angles. But like whether or not it's like the whole fear factor of like, oh, don't get pregnant or whatever, or the whole expectation of having kids when you're older, and so that's brought into it. Oh man, I had another point. I don't remember. Shoot, could you repeat what you just said?
So, like, men are taught to have sex because of something, and women are taught to have sex for something.
Yeah. Man. Shoot, I had a good point at one point, but I don't remember where it went. Um, but no, that's definitely true. I will say it could also be. This was my point. Now I remember. When you know how talked about how like when what is it? Women can easily be seen as like whores or whatever if they sleep around versus men being seen as players.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever that's true depends on the social situation of how it's perceived or whatever. But I wonder if it's because let's see, you could think of like the concept of like losing your virginity, right? When it comes to like a woman losing her virginity, it's this huge, it's depicted in like films or by people who teach it as this big thing, and you could be seen as really bad for it or that's great for you or whatever. But either way, it's always depicted in a super like emotional thing. At least when I see it taught to women. But from what I've seen in anything, like I'm guessing it was like this for like American Pie or anything else with like guy friends talking about sex. It's always like, dude, you lost your virginity? That's crazy. And it's never like this huge like thing. It's just a thing, and it's usually a good thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that's an excellent point. That it's could definitely just be how it's explained.
Yeah, and I think you might have a point there too, because like in media, for example, right? In like a lot of like male comedy movies, for example, um, the whole thing is like sex is like thrown around as such like a what is it? It's like it's thrown around almost as like a comedy bit, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
Like it's like, oh yeah, I had sex with your mom, you know?
yeah.
It's like a thing to brag and gloat about. Whereas in like a woman's in like woman storytelling, maybe not woman, but like in romance, for example, which
Yeah.
is something women are more likely to finally kill the stupid fucking house. You can go die in a hole.
Yeah.
Um, but with romance movies, sex is like the big build-up, you know? There's
Yeah.
romance, they have sex. End of the movie starts, you know? So like
We did it.
that could also be it. Is that subliminally in our minds, like they're both big deals, but they're big deals for different reasons.
Yeah. Have
And
you?
yeah,
Yeah, continue. No, finish your thought.
I lost
Oh my bad.
it.
Um, have you ever seen in any? Because I wanna be aware without sounding stupid. Have you seen in any like I don't want, it's not male media, but male characters in media where for some reason having sex or losing virginity or anything along those lines, other than like a sexual assault case, where it's seen as a bad thing?
No. Like,
Okay.
the most it'll go is that it's seen as awkward
There you are.
Okay.
Looking for
when discussing it with someone who hasn't had sex.
Give you a message.
Okay.
You guys did pretty damn good. And that you should
But,
slow down
like,
for a
other than
shot
that,
when you're done here. Got it?
Usually
I was
when they
also
have
hoping
sex,
you
there's
might be
like
interested in a few more matches.
there's either praise or it's like it's something to gloat about
But there's always
Yeah.
in media.
Well, I don't know. We definitely went over what our time should be, but it was a really good conversation, so I don't want to stop it. We might have to continue in the next episode, though.
I mean, sure, man. We're walking down the Hall of Fame. All right, thanks for watching.
Bye.